Want to advance your career immediately? Stick around for these hacks. I'm Rory Verrett. Welcome to Protégé Leadership Academy. Today we're talking about 7 productivity hacks that you can use immediately to become more efficient and more effective as a professional. I know everybody has hacks that they use, but I found these 7 to be really effective for a variety of reasons that I'll explain in the episode. I'm likely going to do a bit of a deeper dive on a few of these because they bear a bit more analysis than what we're going to cover today. But let's get started. My first productivity hack is to exercise on a stationary bike while listening to YouTube professional development videos or sending out requests on LinkedIn to people that I want to join in my network. In terms of YouTube videos, these could be videos about how to launch and scale your YouTube channel. I listened to quite a few of these videos when I was starting this channel. I've also found a few channels helpful for hobbies that I have, like golf, travel, or wine. This hack is a way of multitasking that doesn't require my full attention for either activity. I'm working out for 30 to 45 minutes on a bike, and I have my hands free and I can toggle through YouTube videos. Sometimes I also add to this and send out LinkedIn requests. Now, I know that sounds a bit geeky, but you can probably send out 10 to 15 different LinkedIn requests while you're on a stationary bike. These could be people that you want to network as future employers, potential clients, or peer mentors. Riding a stationary bike while listening to YouTube videos and building my network on LinkedIn has helped me lose 6 pounds in 2 months, accelerate my go-to-market strategy on my YouTube channel, and help me build my LinkedIn network from 500 people to almost 14,000 people. Another productivity hack that I found to be very helpful is to listen to audiobooks while doing long-distance travel. This could be travel either from Europe to the US on a plane or riding my car for weekend trips throughout Europe and the US. I use Audible, and for about $15 a month, I can get a book a month. And just over the last 2 months, I've read or listened to about 6 books, including How to Get to 10 Million, Atomic Habits, How to Listen to Jazz, .com Secrets, and a few other books. These are books that cover my professional and personal interests, and as a nonfiction geek, I'm always learning something. Again, it's a way of multitasking. I'm gonna get from point A to point B by plane or car. In the meantime, I'm making the time pass quickly while learning something new. Now to a dietary hack of sorts. Another productivity hack that I've come to appreciate recently is using a pour-over coffee system. Now, this may sound like a crazy idea for a productivity hack, but bear with me on this one. I'm a serious coffee drinker. I'm from New Orleans. I've been drinking coffee my entire life. At one point when I was early in my search career, I was drinking 5 cups of coffee a day. That much coffee now causes me migraines, so I'm down to 2 cups a day. And I recently started using an espresso machine. One big problem: when I had my annual physical, my cholesterol had increased significantly. I learned that espresso has an ingredient, cafestol, that causes your cholesterol to spike. A partner at our firm also confirmed that the same thing happened to her and her husband. So now I'm using this pour-over system with a paper filter instead of espresso or a French press system, which don't use a filter. The pour-over model keeps me caffeinated and energetic, but leaves out the cafestol. So that one change could make a huge difference in my health numbers. I'm so glad I learned about the difference between espresso and filtered coffee in terms of cholesterol. And apparently, this can spike men's cholesterol more than it can for women. So just be mindful of those multiple espresso shots throughout your day if you're watching your cholesterol. My fourth productivity hack is about managing your calendar. And one thing I've started doing is holding Friday open for a strategy, reflection, and wellness day. Executive recruiting and coaching, like any client service business, can create very long days. To make sure I guard against burnout, I dedicate one day where I can think through the business, where I can think through projects that need my mental attention and focus, and where I can simply rest for part of the day. I'm not always able to secure every Friday like this for my calendar, but it happens 80% of the time. It's a tremendous respite and speed bump from the intensity of the week. You might find that having this kind of break in your week, maybe it's on a Wednesday or maybe it's a slow start to your Monday, that it can give you the intellectual and physical stamina to get through the week and the month and the year without burning out. If you're finding these tips useful and this channel helpful for your career, please press like below and subscribe to our channel. This allows the YouTube algorithm to suggest our channel to more people looking for career advice. This next productivity hack, number 5, is a big one, but it pays huge dividends. The idea here is to combine travel or a hobby with networking. Here's what I mean. For years, I used to organize an annual golf trip. These were with friends, some of whom became really strong mentors for me, and some that led to really interesting client referrals. I took it up a notch a couple of years ago and organized a cycling trip through wine country in France. For about a week, 7 of us spent a weekend in Paris and then spent the core part of the week cycling through the Burgundy wine region in central France. We took a high-speed train down to Beaune and cycled through some of the most amazing vineyards in the world. Imagine your day starting off with a breakfast, and then you ride for a couple of hours, you take a break to stop and take pictures at a beautiful lookout point along the way, and then you have this amazing lunch with your 2 chaperones and the group. One of them, the chaperones, is riding with you as your guide, and the other one is following the peloton in a van with food, coffee, water, repair kits, even spare bikes. And in some cases, the van was carrying our luggage as we moved from town to town. It was like our own mini Tour de France. After an incredibly indulgent lunch with some wine, at some incredible bistros in France, we got back on the bikes and rode for another hour. We'd stop for coffee and then get back on the bikes for another hour and a half before stopping at a wine tasting at a vineyard. We're all in bike gear walking through these vineyards in France and doing wine tastings. It was unbelievable. We'd finish up around 5 p.m. and we'd have some personal time before dinner. Almost every day I took a nap. And then for dinner, we'd head to some highly acclaimed restaurant, a Michelin star restaurant, for another indulgent meal. Imagine that for 2 or 3 or 4 days straight. I did this with candidates we placed in executive roles and one candidate for a board of directors role, and also with some clients. All in all, it was an amazing week. Shout out to Duvine that offers 2, 3, 4, even 7-day trips like this. I'm gonna be hosting this trip every other year for this group and maybe add a few more people to it. This is just one way to combine your hobby and networking. You could host twice a year a barbecue at your home. You could start a book club. You could organize quarterly visits to a local whiskey or craft cocktail bar, or start a restaurant club. It could be a brunch group. As you hear me talk about repeatedly on this channel, building relationships is hugely important to your career advancement. If you can host a wonderful shared experience with people in your network, it can pay huge dividends for your career. Listen, I'm not recommending that you do fun stuff with people you don't like, but I do recommend that you find a way to engage others in your professional network with your hobbies. And it doesn't really matter what the hobby is. You want to create a fun, enriching, and engaging experience for people to create that shared memory. The bottom line is that people do business with people they like and trust. And there's no better way to build that affinity and trust than sharing an amazing experience together. Productivity hack number 6 is not necessarily an original one for me, but I have adopted it and it's working wonders. And this hack is creating a modular wardrobe. What I mean by that is to have a consistent set of clothing that you wear, especially if you work from home or if you work in a business casual work environment. I'm actually someone that takes style reasonably seriously, and I've learned how to build this modular system by doing the following. Number 1, find your size with 2 or 3 reputable clothing companies. For example, I'm a perfect medium in Ralph Lauren, J. Crew, and Todd Snyder. It means I can go into any of these stores, anywhere in the world, and even online, and know that these clothes are going to fit me. I also have 2 great tailors. Number two, this modular wardrobe means that because these designers are all in the same genre of classic preppy clothing, all of the clothing works together. Having a modular wardrobe takes a lot of the guesswork about what I'm wearing every day off the table. I'm either gonna wear a polo shirt and chinos and jeans or an untucked button-down shirt with chinos and jeans. I can save my creativity and my own mental energy for figuring out client problems or growing our business. This is something that Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, and even Einstein both did. I've also heard that Barack Obama said that one of the things he actually loved about being president was that his outfit was the same thing every day, a blue suit and a dope tan suit every now and then. I still have some creativity about what I wear on special occasions and the weekend, but I pretty much know what I'm wearing during the week. This is also quite cost effective because you can typically learn when the sales are for the 2 or 3 brands you patronize and stock up on clothing once a year. My last productivity hack is about a professional topic, but it's also almost a spiritual principle, and that is to get into the favor business. Here's what I mean. All of us have some advantage in life. No matter your station, income, or success level, you probably know something, have access to something, or simply have exposure to some people or places that others don't have. The hack is to turn that into a strategic advantage. I spent a significant amount of time in Lisbon, Portugal. It's one of the world's most popular travel destinations. So that means people are always coming to Lisbon to vacation. I can't meet with everyone, but I do make a habit to meet with people that are in my professional network as well as family and friends who travel here. Because I've lived here almost 3 years, I know a lot of the off-the-beaten-path places to go. I can tell people the restaurants and speakeasies and lounges and jazz cafes that are not in the tourist books. People are tremendously appreciative of the time and information I share with them. Think about it. When have you traveled to a city and had someone who lived in that city take you around and show you places you never would have found, especially if it's a far-flung city that you've never been to? That's what I mean by being in the favor business. I'm acting as a local tour guide for curious travelers. Now, I didn't do this for business development, but guess what wound up happening? I started getting business from people I was simply taking around as a mini tour guide. I'm talking 6-figure deals that came in the aftermath of a brunch or over margaritas. So I recommend that you get into the favor business. Find something that you have, something that you know about, that you can share with others without any expectation of getting anything in return. I played host like this in the same way in New Orleans, where I was born. I've introduced people to each other in my career network. Do all of this out of the goodness of your heart. Prepay for your karma, as I say, and then watch what happens. You might find that the good vibes come right back to you. So those are 7 of my favorite productivity hacks. I have a few more I'll outline on a future show, and I'm likely going to go deeper on a couple of these hacks on a future episode. What are some of your favorite productivity hacks? Please share in the comments section below so we can all help each other succeed. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time on the Protégé Leadership Academy.